Hello, guys. Welcome to our channel once again. If you're not subscribed, click on the subscribe button down below to subscribe, like, and comment on our videos because, guys, the more you comment on our videos, the more YouTube recommends our videos to other people to watch. So, today we're going to be talking about the episode 11 of Ready to Love. We're almost at the ending. I'm surprised that we are almost at the ending of the show.
Yeah, that was pretty quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it was just yesterday we actually started watching the show, and now we're already in episode 11, heading towards the finale. Wow, I did enjoy the show. Probably that's why I didn't feel like it was a waste of time.
Well, I kind of wanted them to hurry up and get to the end. I kind of wanted to know what everybody's final thinking on it that was
Yeah,
on the show and where they were going mind wise, So,
everybody wants to know that.
yeah.
I to myself wants to know who did they pick at the end of the day. You know, who is the
Yeah.
person that they picked at the end of the day? I want to know that.
Yeah, I want to know who exactly ends up with who and what's their reasoning for it and I
Hmm.
can't wait to see the final, the reunion, because I want to see whose
Yeah,
relationship stuck.
truthfully, yeah, I want to see the reunion to see how some things, some things are panning out. In the reunion, we'll find out a lot more details about things that are actually going on the show.
Right.
Well, before that, let's talk about let's go on for today's episode. Today they were meeting up with the family. The guys were to take the ladies to meet their family members. And the
Right.
first thing I want to talk about is um Maurice. Maurier brought his cousin. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I don't want to
Aqu-
spoil
Aquanet. Aquanet.
Quinton. I don't want to be spoiling someone's name.
Yeah.
So he brought his cousin to meet up with Kat and Jessica. First, I want to talk about his talk with Jessica. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but I do feel like Jessica is a pick me up. I'm sorry. I did say it last week in last week's episode, and I'm still gonna repeat it again this week. She is a pick me up, and the way she literally, probably just my saying or maybe my own standards I'm using to judge her, but I feel like she's giving me pick me up vibes because the way she went about saying that anything he wants to do, she's there. If he doesn't want kids, if he wants kids, she's there. Like agreeing to, I felt like she was in just agreeing to everything that Maurier likes and not actually increasing and saying, this is what I do like. I'm not seeing her own individuality like this is what I like. She's just
Right.
agreeing to everything Maurice is accepting. So it's giving me fake, it's giving me fakery, it's not giving me authenticity. I'm like, girl, you just don't like you agreeing to everything he says is not making sense to me. And there is nobody, okay, some people are like that. I went to say there's nobody that is as young that don't do not want kids. And then I remember that I had someone like that that doesn't want to have kids. But she has mentioned before that she wants to have kids. I think with was it Herbert when she was still in talking terms with Herbert. I remember she said something about wanting kids. Then you are talking with Maurier now, and you're saying whether he wants kids or not, you're okay with it.
Hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
What I find kind of strange is, he said he wanted to. He's trying to get um, his credentials together because he wants to move to Africa. Did you hear her
Mhm.
say, "Well, I'm not trying to do that"? Like, how does that relationship gonna work then? It's like Everything that he wants out of a relationship, she really does not want. I feel that she's staying on the show because she wants to be the last woman standing, you know? And like there's a big
I
prize at the end of the rainbow when no, it's the end of the show. Either you get the man
I
or you don't
felt
get him.
that way too.
Yeah. So I don't know. She seems kind of fake. Her facial expressions fake. When they go to hug each other, she turns her head like, no, don't touch me, really. Fake. Like either you like the guy or you don't. I don't see really too much anything genuine in how she's portraying herself.
Mm-hmm. She's giving me fake. And when she was just agreeing to him, and like I was like, I was even wondering. My first question is always like, where did the connection come from for you to be just? I just felt like in her mind she just wanted to beat Jessica, and so I needed to appease this guy. I needed to be more willing and open to him, make him feel like, yeah, with me there's more sustainability, with me there's more comfort. To me, I
Right.
understand where you're coming from. And that is not sincere with me, because that is a very bad starting point in relationship. Someone used to say, don't start what you cannot finish.
Yeah, and I also noticed that, she when there's other women involved for his attention, she fights harder. But when it's just him and her, she just laid back, don't seem interested, So I don't know. I have a big question mark by her name because I don't understand, you know, how she's reasoning her choice. I feel like
She still knows that Jessica is in the picture.
yeah, but they're not interested in her though. She's just trying to stay there because she doesn't want nobody else to win. This is like a competition of who can get them.
Hmm.
And she seems like she's only challenged when somebody else has an interest in them. Now there's Katrina, Catherine. She, she sees that she's interested, so now she wants to fight for him. But you could tell she really doesn't like him. To me, that's what I see.
I exactly. I don't really see likeness. And when she described the kind of person she wants in a man, Maurier is not the type. Physically, he's not her type.
Right.
So
He's a spiritual person, where she's more of a church going, I guess, person. So how does that match? I mean, if your
are you
belief,
talking about Kat or are you talking about Jessica?
I'm talking about Jessica.
Oh, Jessica is a different issue. I'm talking about Kat. So them,
Oh,
two of them
God. Okay.
spiritually, they have the same kind of belief. So
Yeah.
they, according to her, I'm not sure, but she says that she's also like that, because the fact that she's agreeing to everything that Maurice says makes me not want to believe that, yes, this is what she actually does. So, I don't know whether she's really into that, the same thing Maurice is, or she's just trying to buy into him. But for Jessica, we know that Jessica, one thing I like about Jessica is that she doesn't reduce her standard for anybody. Jessica will not reduce her standard. She will not reduce her whatever thing she has planned for herself for anybody. If she says the kind of thing I want in my life, she goes for it. She tells you. I like her most because she will tell you as it is and not try to sugarcoat it and not try to sweeten it. So as not tomorrow you'll be like, I didn't know you were like this. I didn't know this is what you want. She doesn't like that
Mhm.
surprise element. She likes to tell you as it is, so that when you're going in there, this is how it is. And I love the way she was just like, you know what? I'm a Christian, and in my house, we have to serve one person. We have to, look at one person. I can't be looking up to God and you are in whatever zone that you are in.
Right.
Yeah. I love that she said that she was really truthful, and the fact that she didn't try to compromise and she didn't try to please she didn't try to please Mauria's aunt. She was just being herself. That's one thing I love Jessica for.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I can't put my finger on Jessica right now. She just doesn't seem totally genuine to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She just doesn't. She doesn't come off as a totally genuine person. Like when they were in the house and they had just eliminated what's her name? I can't think of her name right now. The one with the short
Sarah.
blonde hair, Sierra. Yeah, when they just eliminated Sierra, she had like a straight attitude. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't trying to listen to reason. You know, and the way she came off towards Maurier was like, I'm not even interested. And I mean, she makes some of the ugliest faces, like like she is just bothered. You know?
But I feel like because she actually I think I did a video on it this week where she came up on she has a YouTube channel.
Uh huh.
So she came up on YouTube and talked about, the whole scenario, her and Chris. And her and Sierra was her guest on the show.
Uh huh.
And they talked about a lot of things. Sierra also complained the same thing, that this production has a way of doing things. That sometimes you are reacting to something else and they take that facial expression you give and put it out to something else to maybe create a narrative of the story of
Okay.
how it is going. Just like when Sierra made an instance, like when they told her she wasn't ready to love in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
They made it look as if the way, she was joking, like, she looked happy, like she was ready to bounce out of there. And they made it look, if you watch the show very well, you realize that they made it look as if Tommy was kind of irritated by her and the way she was reacting to being dumped or being, removed from the show. But she said what really happened was that Tommy was actually laughing at her and was like, what, you're a comedian, and I think you have like, there's hope, prospect for you in comedy, and was even trying to invite her that he very soon is going on tour, that maybe she could join him. And she was like, she was now laughing, was like, no, comedy is not my thing. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that.
Mm.
So they were complaining that some of the facial expressions they make, some of the, they make, sometimes it's not in reaction to exactly what is going on right there and there.
Mm.
Sometimes a reaction to something else, and the productions or editors or whatever they call themselves, they take their reactions and place it to something else and make it look as if that is the reaction, that is the particular thing they are reacting to, but that is not it.
Oh, okay.
They want to create a storyline. They want to make it so interesting for us to watch. They want to, make us feel intrigued. Like, I want to know what exactly is going on here. So that's why they
Mm.
do that.
Oh, okay. But that's giving us a little better understanding of how they're doing the production. They're cutting and slicing stuff up.
Yeah, she said there was a lot of, no, she talked about, Sarah complained about a lot of things, and she even complained about the fact that she was wearing wig on the show.
Mm.
She said she never wanted to wear wig on the show. She wanted to show her natural, because on the interview she was on a natural hair. She wanted to show her natural hair. But the problem was that I think in one of the dates I've forgotten who was she was on a date with. I think the first date, she
Mm-hmm. She
wore
came
a
out with a
wig.
wig. Mm-hmm.
She came with a wig, and the next time she wanted to take off, and she was like, I'm not gonna be on a wig. The production told her that you already started with wig, that you need to continue with the wig. And she was like, what? And
Wow.
she could not do anything. She just had to stick. for the week.
Wow. That's kind of crazy how production will tell you how you should dress and how you should look in order to be on the show.
Exactly. they they really hinted on a lot of things that the way the productions do. Like, I although I had an idea that sometimes what we see is not exactly what is going on. That's why most times I always prefer reunions,
Hmm.
because in the reunion everything is coming out. Production, even if the production wants to produce, there's not a lot of things they can, do to produce a lot of things. So I always anticipate reunions, because reunions give us more info or more depth
I
to
agree.
everything that is going on.
Hmm. I totally
That's
agree.
just, yeah. So I understand. And but the only thing I felt sketchy about in this Maurice and this thing stuff was the fact that you, you guys just had a fight, where you told him that for now you don't know what's going on, and the next moment you're smiling at him saying we are moving forward. I'm like, I will understand where you say it's looking sketchy actually, because yeah, it'd be looking sketchy. It'd be
Are,
looking sketchy. And,
are you talking
and the
about with
fact that,
Jessica?
yes, like
Okay.
I'm talking about the fact that with Maurier, the previous episode, they were just having this issue about the fact that he came out and talked about the combative stuff.
Situation. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it just seems like a bunch of fakery and foolery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I feel like she's really not interested. She just wants to be the last woman standing. You know, I,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the finale because,
Yeah, I'm actually anticipating next week's episode. Like, literally, I want to see.
yeah, and if she's the one who gets picked, I want to see if she actually accepts or she goes, nah,
Uh-huh.
this ain't for me.
I want to see how that would actually turn out. And it pissed me off that Maurice, I don't know why. I kind of Maurice is a sketchy kind of guy. And some of these guys, I literally find them very suspicious, because this on Ready to Love, they pay them per how many weeks you last on the show.
Oh, okay.
You know, their
Mm-hmm.
their pay is for, if you last 2 weeks, you're paid for 2 weeks. If you last for a week, you're paid for 1 week. So the longer you stay,
Mm-hmm. The,
the bigger
the
your
bigger
check.
your check. Exactly.
So most of these guys, most of them, I don't be trusting them, because I feel like most of them are trying to force connection like cats, trying to force connection, trying to, yeah, 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 yeah. Even if I know that it's not there, trying to force that connection just to be there. Probably is just to get that fact check.
Yeah, I believe it. I can believe it. Because like I said,
That's,
out of nowhere, him and Kat start talking. It's like, did you guys ever say like more than two words or a sentence to each other?
uh-huh.
Because
Like
if
from
so,
not
we didn't see
talking,
it.
not seeing each other, to, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah, just out of the blue when there was no more other prospects. So it just kind of makes me feel like it's just fake. They're there for the check. They're there for the exposure on national television. And the longer you're there, hey, how easy it is to go from there to do something else because you're known now.
Mhm. Exactly. But the fact that they were here and they were still talking about Chris, like why I say I don't like Maureen, is that they are here supposed to be talking about themselves. He's trying to ask, how did you feel about Chris going? Like, what's your business with how she feels about Chris going? Right now, it's you in her front. You should be talking about yourself and her, not about how she felt about Chris being removed from the show.
Right.
Like that,
Right.
this guy be acting sketchy to me. Like, I don't trust Maurice. Maurice is one of the guys on the show that I be looking at him with side eye. Like, is he for real?
Yeah, it seems like him and Chris really hit it off, and they're like friends even after the show. And they probably have discussions about Jessica, you know. So for him to ask that question only lets me feel that, he goes back and he reports everything back to Chris after the show. Because Chris isn't
Yeah.
privy to the information anymore because he's not there, you
Mhm.
know. So yeah, I didn't like that either. If you're on a date with her, then you should be talking about you and her and not the guy who just left a week ago.
Now let's talk about this guy. Phil. Man. Firstly, he asked his aunt and cousin to meet up with Aries. I like his aunt and his cousin.
Hmm.
Meeting up with Aries here, and a lot of things came up. They did like Aries, they did like her, but the fact that she still mentioned that security thing started pissing Phil up. And I feel like, why should you be pissed off? I want security in my relationship. It's not a bad thing. Like, it's not like it's asking you to be a billionaire or a trillionaire or a millionaire. No, she's just asking for security. You are acting like you don't care. You are in between jobs. You are reinventing yourself every 1 month. That's not what she needs. She needs stability. She
Right.
doesn't need a man that is out there reinventing himself every month.
Yeah.
And
That's
she told you. And now, because of now, and now, I'm happy that she didn't allow the love cloud her judgment a lot.
hmm
I'm happy that because some people, the Lord will cloud their judgment that they will not see that everything is wrong. And I'm happy that she didn't allow the love cloud her judgment, that she could see that, okay, now I need to, stop looking at this blue eye, stop looking at this sex symbol. Let me go to the main thing. This guy, can you give me security? Because if I be going to a relationship with you, I want to be secured. I don't want to be entering with fear and everything. And he's getting pissed off. Like, the way he spoke today's episode, I was just like, now we are beginning to know the real Phil that doesn't like being questioned.
right. I could tell that he was getting upset, because that kept coming up, like, um why do you keep like hopping from career to career, but he did kind of say that he switched his career because of his son. He couldn't be out, you know in different cities and different states trying to work when he has a son that he has to care for. Now, as a parent, I completely understand that. It's like when I had a job that was 70 miles away from the house, you know, and I'm like, okay, if anything goes wrong with the kids, I'm gonna have to fight through traffic, and try and rush home to my kids and stuff, So I said, hey, let me get a job that is closer to home. It's not as much money, but at least I'm closer to home, So I can kind of understand where he's coming from on that, you know, but I could see that, yeah, it's starting to irritate him, because she doesn't really have faith that he's going to be able to financially support her, and if they get together, support her, his kid, and her kid, and she doesn't want to be the one who has to pick up the ball, and I understand that as well, so
Mhm.
yeah, it's just really not too sure.
I do understand that. Like, and I don't like this feel that I'm seeing now, especially the feel that was on this date. I didn't like him. I could literally see the annoyance in his face. He wasn't happy
Mm-hmm.
that she kept on mentioning the security thing, how secure can you be, all those kind of things. Felt like he should even be understanding
Well, yeah,
towards her. Now he
she's a
was
single mom.
projecting. I was like, oh, probably she's taking the hurt she got from other relationship, from past relationship. Of course, should I take the lessons from you? I have learned the same once bitten, twice shy. If I should be making the same mistake I made in my previous relationship again, what does that make me?
Hmm. Somebody who doesn't learn their lesson.
Yeah. That means I never really understood what I was doing in the first place. So now, probably yes, she was in a relationship that was not suitable for her, was not good for her. She had so much fear. She didn't have security financially in that relationship. Now has learned from the lessons. She knew what she went through there. She knew the heartbreak. She knew the suffering. She knew whatever thing she went through. And now she's like, I don't want to make that mistake again.
Right.
Whatever relationship I'm entering into now, it has to be perfect. I have to have everything I didn't have in my previous relationship. And that's what people do. I would not be entering into a new relationship with the same things from my past relationship. I would want to be entering with better versions of the things I didn't, in short, better versions of the things I liked, and good, like good characters of the things I didn't even like in my previous relationship. I wouldn't want to go to a new relationship with the same baggage that I saw, and the same baggage I met in my
Right.
previous relationship. And she's trying to avoid that. And she's trying to tell you. And you are using it against her that, oh, mom, she's carrying baggage from her previous relationship. And I didn't like today's feel. And I feel like probably that's the feel we've had. And he's just covering it with the smiley face. And I think he's also one of the guys that was trying to stick and stay on this show to the end.
Hmm.
Probably he needs the money. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
feel like that when it comes to feel.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I mean, I just kind of go back to when he introduced Aries to his girlfriend and the ex-girlfriend, and she goes, does he have a problem with showing affection, public affection? And then Aries was like, no, he doesn't have a problem with me. You know, it seems like that feel is the real feel. The
Mm-hmm.
one who doesn't like to be questioned, the one who feels like he doesn't have to answer to his female counterpart, you know. And so I think Phil that now we're seeing part of the real Phil, gloves off, you know. And like we said, he was the representative now. Now we see the actual person.
Exactly. Like I saw him today and I felt like this is bad. I felt like so he had just been hiding his real attitude. And it's because and right from time I didn't really like Aries with Phil. I'd always preferred that she should go with Chris because when I looked at the things she said she wants in a man, Chris has that. But the only thing that she didn't have with Chris was that attraction.
Right.
She didn't have that attraction with Chris, which she had with Phil. And I feel that that was what Phil capitalized on, that they had that physical attraction, it
Hmm.
was there. So he capitalized on it a
Yes.
lot.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel the same way, because I feel like she did have a little more with Chris. But the only thing that I didn't like about her and Chris, when Chris had started crying about his mom, she kind of like looked at him like, dude, I, you can't cry on my shoulder. If it would have been me, I would have been like, oh, wow, come here, let me hug you. You know, let me give you some of this love because you're hurting right now. Whereas she kind of sat back and was like, nope, I got sons that cry. I don't need my man crying, you know? So right there, it was just something about that I kind of felt like she wasn't really attracted to Chris, you know, because Chris showed raw emotions to her too quickly. And she just didn't know how to handle it.
Exactly. And now, is it this? Was this the better version? Because now she's seeing that. Mm, I think now she's rethinking. Did I make a mistake?
Yeah, I mean, who would want to date a guy who keeps switching careers every 4 months, even every
Yeah.
6 months, once a year? I would be
And
like,
they
okay,
both
he's
they both
he's
have
not too
kids.
stable. Yeah, he's not too stable. You know, I don't mind paying for the date every now and then, but paying for all the dates, I might as well date myself. you know.
So I might as well date myself. Oh my god. Like I didn't like Phil at all in this episode. I don't know. I
Hmm.
didn't like him. But I just want to see how it's gonna end up next week, how they're gonna play it out on next week's episode. I'm literally waiting to see what would go on between the both of them in next week's episode.
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
Now we move on to Quinton. We move on to Quinton, and he brought his cousin to meet up with the two ladies, Lee and Janelle.
Hmm.
First, let's talk about the meeting we had with Janelle. Like, it's it was cute. We know that Quentin has this physical attraction to Janelle. You know, they
Right.
are bubbly. When you see them together, you know that yeah, this guy does like this girl. All those kind of things. The brother actually noticed that. I mean, the cousin noticed it. I was like, okay, this girl, you have this attraction, but apart from that attraction they have, do they really have any other thing?
Not that I could see. I mean, Janelle is just smothering. She doesn't give him a chance to really think. You know, she doesn't allow him to be himself without her trying to course him or groom him into what she wants him to be. I would rather for you to be yourself first. You know what I'm saying? So I can actually see what I'm getting, you
But
know, because
what? Yeah, go on.
no, well, I'm just saying you can tell that he's looking at the age difference, you know, like because
Mm-hmm.
she's in a rush for everything because of her time clock. You know, where he's like, hey, I'm in my early 30s, I got time, you know, and all she wants to do is rush, be wrapped up, married, pregnant, or not be pregnant to adopt, you know. And here's a guy, he's young, he wants his own children, you know. And then when he said he wanted three, she was like, one and a half and a dog, maybe. Like, she's not trying to have no kids. She rather
And
adopt.
and the thing is that I feel the reason why he's more attracted to Janelle is because she's the cheaper version.
Mm,
She's a cheaper version for him because she was like, "What do you do for fun?" And she was like, "We'll play around with ourselves at home." And when it came to Lee, Lee was like, I love traveling, I love having fun. She mentioned a lot of outgoing things that
yeah.
involved spending of money.
Mm,
That involved spending of money. And he was like, oh, I'm weighing my option. This one likes to be indoors, just playing games indoors, and this one likes to go on adventures, traveling. When you're traveling, it's not a small money. Going on vacation is not a small money. So he weighed his options and was like, okay, you know what? I think I want to go with the cheap version.
Mm-hmm.
That was how I felt. Like he just said that, you know what, I want to go with the cheap version. I don't want to go with the expensive one. Lee is expensive. She wants to go shopping. She wants to travel. She wants to have fun. All those things.
Well,
And
yeah.
I like that's her priority. She's not gonna double down because of you. You know, I love Lee a lot because I as much as I said I like Jessica, I also love Lee because she's not gonna double down for anybody. She's not gonna bring down her worth because of you. She's gonna
Right.
tell you she's successful, she's accomplished. So if you have not gotten to her level, don't bring your insecurities to her. Just because she says she likes traveling and other things, you want to take it personal and be like, oh, she, things that money. When he said that thing on the loud, things that money cannot buy, I was like, oh, how? She wants to travel. Money can buy traveling. People travel a lot. People go on vacations a lot. She wants to go skydiving and all those things. People do it a lot. So how is it that those things money cannot buy? Like I didn't understand his saying, and I was like, okay, I understand. At the end of the day, he just wants to go for a cheaper version. And when you look at the wants and this wants of the both of them, Janelle is a cheaper version to Lee. Because I'm pretty sure she's on her own now. She's traveling. If they are to get together, of course, it's going to be chipping into every
Mm-hmm.
vacation they want to go to. And the way she likes it, she likes traveling. It could be 3 or 4 times in a year. And I don't think he wants to do that. I feel like even if you feel like, okay, yes, I'm not that kind of person that likes traveling a lot, say it. Don't come through the corners and being like, oh, the fact that what she wants is things that money cannot buy. The gaslighting was just very obvious and very stupid. And when he took her on this date, like the way the guy was, this guy is a classic gaslighter.
Yes.
The way he was trying to gaslight this babe into feeling like, you know what, just stick with me to the end. Like, excuse me. I loved what she did. I'm not gonna be an afterthought to anybody.
Right. And
I'm never gonna be a second to any person. Like she knew her worth. Like I said, that's why I say I like her. She knew her worth. She knew that, you know what, this guy is nothing. I'm just gonna go and meet Tommy and being like, you know what, I'm not gonna be a second afterthought to any human being. I know my worth. I know the kind of guy that's supposed to come to my life, and you are not. Like also, I gave her a round of applause watching this episode. Like she did well.
yeah, I think she did well for herself by getting out of there because Quentin plays too many games. You know what I'm saying? He acts like he doesn't know what he wants, you know. Um he I feel like he sees a future. Well, he's seen a future with Lee, but then he had Janelle. Janelle is more comfort, where Lee is more like, hey, I'm active. I want to do things. Sitting in the house is really not an option for me because I like to stay active. With Janelle, she doesn't like to stay active. Playing cards isn't staying active. Board games, that's not active.
Mm-hmm.
So I just felt like he was playing the field, and he was wanted Lee to be there as a backup, you know and Lee wasn't having it, you know and I completely understand. Since you can't pick, I'm a pick for you.
Yeah. And I love that she took away that control he had over who to pick. Like now stick with the person you claim you have a connection with.
Right, exactly. Now you're stuck.
Mm-hmm. She gave him a very big shut up. And when he was saying I did not expect that, I'm disappointed. Why would you be disappointed? For
Yeah,
you to drag her through the mud and make her look like a fool that is staying with a guy that doesn't know what he wants to choose. No,
yeah. I mean,
you feel
what woman?
upset that she gave you surprise.
Yeah, but what woman wants to feel like she's being played? You know what I'm saying? If you like somebody better, then hey, let me back up. Let you go ahead and do what you're gonna do. I don't need to be a part of it. So kudos to Lee. I would have did the same thing. My journey would have ended too.
Uh, I felt so happy that she went to meet Tommy because watching the episode, I was like, this guy doesn't deserve Tommy. So I said, Tommy, Lee, she doesn't deserve Lee. He doesn't deserve Lee at all. And I was happy that she literally decided to leave
Yeah.
the home.
Yeah, no woman likes to be toyed with. And you're not gonna keep me up on the shelf or on the back burner, or keep me on ice while you're making your decisions. Either you do or you don't.
Yeah.
And he was just too wishy-washy. Like he's scared of Janelle or something, like Janelle gonna beat him up or something.
And I love the way that she told him, you were wifed up.
Yeah, he
She was like, you
was.
were wiped up in that villa. You were wiped up. Don't deceive yourself. You were wiped up.
Yeah, and she even told him what room her room is at, in case he needed to or wanted to sneak away. If
Mm,
you're giving this man all the access to you and he doesn't use it, I'd be done too. He doesn't want me, so hey, what am I doing wanting him? It kind of makes you look at yourself.
yeah.
Because like you said,
But
no woman wants to be made a fool of on national
yeah,
television.
exactly. And now that it has gone like this, let's just see. I just can't wait for next week. I can't wait. Like I'm itching for it to be next week again, so as for us to know what actually happened. I'm looking at who would Maurier actually choose. Is it gonna be Kat? Is it gonna be Jessica? And will they accept him after picking one of them? Because Jessica is like, I don't want to move to Africa. Nah,
Yeah,
that's not in my dictionary to move to Africa.
exactly.
Moving
Hey,
to Africa is not on the agenda. And then also okay, we already know that Quinton is for Janelle, so there's no suspense there.
right.
Then I want to also find out whether Phil and Aries will end up being together. But for me, if she ends up being still with him, I'm like, baby girl, are you all right? Exactly. That's what I'll be saying. Like, are you okay? You've seen everything. You've seen the signs, and you still went ahead.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah, exactly. But when Janelle finds out that they've had a separate little date, she's going to be very upset about that because she is just so possessive. So we'll see if she accepts him at the end.
I think she will accept it. She's just obsessed with him.
Yeah, well, again, he says about the age thing. You know, I mean, is he going to come and say, hey, let's be together? Or is he going to say, you know, the age thing, you want things faster than I can deliver them to you because I'm still trying to live my 30-year-old life. Let me live my 30s. You lived yours, you know, so let me finish living my 30s. And hey,
You know,
so I like to see.
let's just wait and see how next week turn out to be. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us on today's review and recap of Ready to Love season 8. We'll be back next week for the finale. Back next week for the finale. Don't forget to like and comment on channel, guys. Like and comment on our videos. The more you like these videos, the more YouTube recommends our videos. And also don't forget to also click on the subscribe button down below to subscribe. See you guys same time next week for the review, the finale review of Ready to Love 8. Bye.
Bye.